So good evening. We are back again with yet another upload, and this time we're going to talk about Granit Xhaka. I've been waiting to do this video since I see the news. Before I get into that, make sure you are following the apps below, especially that one, Instagram. Big up to everyone who has followed me on Instagram in the last 48 hours. Loads of you as well, so thank you very much. Nearly on 14k, so come on, there's nearly 56k on this channel. Let's get that up to 30k. I want 30k on Insta real quick. So yeah, man, big up to everyone who has followed me on Insta. Make sure you share the stream around. And also, if you haven't checked out the video that I did about Daniel X's failed bid for Arsenal Football Club, he issued a statement yesterday. I've picked the bones out of that. And go and check that video out. It was the last video on the channel. I dropped it earlier on today. But we are going to talk about Granit Xhaka. And I see an article in The Athletic that's then picks up traction with all the other journalists in the mainstream that Granit Xhaka actually wants to leave. And I find this hilarious, if I'm honest, because there's been a lot of talk about a war chest, £200 million to spend, the biggest overhaul in Arsenal's history. But then when you see other reports, it's Arsenal need to sell before they can buy. You know, players want out, you know, and I just think this all sounds too good to be true, if I'm honest. Leno wants to leave. Xhaka wants to leave. Bellerin wants to leave. David Luiz is leaving. Ceballos don't want to come back. He wants, or we don't want him back. You know, there's players there that I'm looking at thinking, well, these players, for me, ain't good enough. If we want to have aspirations of being up here at the top of the table and being number one, or at least challenging to be number one, we need a whole lot better than these players. They've been comfortable at this football club for a long, long time. And I don't know whether this is just great PR from the football club to spin it, the agents. I don't know. Maybe some of these players want new deals, higher, improved deals. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. The one thing I do know is if Granit Xhaka leaves, that will be a monumental day in this club's history, because the guy is just, I just do not like him. I genuinely don't rate him one bit. I think, like, if we go back to when he gave us the V's and cupped his ear when everyone was booing him off the football pitch, throwing the armband on the floor, absolute disgrace. Should never have been at the football club from that day onwards. Should have been sat in the reserves until the summer transfer window, and then he should have been outed. And he wasn't. He's had the captain's armband on multiple times since then, which I think is just disgusting. The standard of this football club, the standards of this football club are at an all-time low. I've seen a lot of people that have said, oh, it's a wonderful turnaround for Granit Xhaka. He's gone back to the level he was when we signed him, which weren't good enough. You know, yes, he's had good performances, but they're few and far between. Like, you know, he plays at left back because he's left-footed when we've got Cedric sat on the bench. Like, don't necessarily blame Granit Xhaka, because, listen, he doesn't pick himself. He just genuinely isn't good enough to play for this football club. I think he's so arrogant, the way he speaks after he scores one goal a season. You know, he scores a goal and then goes, I do my talking on the pitch. Well, what talking then? Because every time I see you on the pitch, you're slow, you're sideways, you've got nothing about you defensively, you switch off too quickly, you're passing over a long distance. I don't think it's that great. It's not like you're splitting the lines with killer balls. You do the 60-yard diag like once every 5 games and everyone goes mad for it. The protection of this guy within the majority of the fan base, I don't get it. I genuinely do not understand it. And like I said, this will be a good day if he does leave. But again, I'm still kind of skeptical, because there's too many of these stories coming out from too many of these players now, or from sources close to these players. Whether that be the club that are pushing this out to get fans all excited, like, oh, look, Granit wants to leave, we can make a few quid there, or get some money in. Bellerin wants to leave, we can get some money in. You know, this player wants to leave, we can get some money in. You know, this player's leaving, so we save 100 grand a week. You know, this player's going back to Madrid, so we save 60 grand a week. And now it's building everybody up to be, oh, look, we're going shopping, big signings this summer. I'm not so sure. Yeah, seeing is believing. The David Luiz story, I believe, because he is out of contract. This story, I'm not so sure. Let's not forget here, this manager also put an arm around him and pretty much begged him to stay at the football club when he was off to Germany after Unai Emery got sacked. And he's openly admitted that himself, and so has Arteta. So I'm not so sure. And I don't know whether he's got a clause in his contract that says he has to play pretty much every game, but he plays pretty much every game. And I don't understand it. Like, listen, we're not blessed with good midfielders. I don't think we've got any really good midfielders, if I'm honest. Thomas Partey's been a letdown so far, but I'll let that slide for now. Let's see what you do next season. Other than that, our midfield is pretty damn weak, really weak. Smith Rowe has had a lot of good performances this season, but he's not the finished article by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's still developing as a footballer, and it's nice to see somebody come through the academy and do that, but you can't pin your hopes on a 20-year-old. And we've been pinning our hopes on him and Bukayo Saka all season. I don't know, man. Let me know what you think on Granit Xhaka. Do you believe the story? Because I don't know how long he's got left on his contract, but I'm sure he signed one last season. So I don't know whether that's 2 years left this summer. I haven't checked it, if I'm honest. Leave that in the comment section as well. But it does seem very coincidental that all of a sudden we get dumped out of the Europa League. The season's collapsed. We're 9th in the table. And all of a sudden, war chest, 200 million overhaul. And then story after story after story of players that are, you know, not great, but now they're coming out with, oh, they want to leave, they want to leave, they want to leave. I don't know where Granit Xhaka thinks he's going, but I think it was Hertha Berlin that was the club that was interested in him. So that's probably about his level. And he'd probably look good in Germany, hence why we signed him. So, yeah. But let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on that. Make sure you go and check the Daniel Ek video out as well. I really enjoyed doing that video. Make sure you go and check that one out. Make sure you hit a like on the video. Massively important. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you follow all the socials scrolling across the ticker tape at the bottom. Most importantly, follow my Instagram. I won't be back again today. That's me done for the day. Tomorrow, usual schedule with rants as well. I'm going to drop a video early-ish daytime. That'll be an upload as well at some point. I don't know what time that will be yet. And then I'll be doing the 4 p.m. show with Rants. Looking forward to that one. It's always fireworks with Rants. Me and Rants, it's funny, man. Them shows get better and better every week. And I think Turkish is back. I'm not sure. I need to check his schedule today as well for tomorrow. So yeah, all in all, it's been a lovely weekend without Arsenal ruining it. And all the stories are coming out the woodwork. So listen, let me know whether you believe any of these stories. If you haven't checked out the Lacazette and David Luiz videos as well, go back to yesterday. Them videos are on the channel. Make sure you stick likes and shares on them as well. And all have a wonderful Sunday. And I'll catch up with you again tomorrow. We're out of here. Laters, peeps.